Hi guys. Okay, we were just doing in our 60-second reel, which I feel like I have to say it so fast. People have been asking, what am I personally using in this olive and yellow collection? Well, let me tell you. I am using this guy, which is, I'm really into the XL Janes merch. Like, I honestly will like to have it in every color we're gonna do. And I'm gonna use them all. I don't know why, I'm addicted to this bag. It's very strange. I don't know why.
But you're walking the talk too, like you're out there with these
Yeah, and you know what's so funny was like when my mom, actually yesterday we went to lunch, and she's like, you know, it looks so big, but then for some reason it looks really cool on you. And I was like, I know, it's really weird, right? Like it's a very big bag and I'm a very small person, but I love how it feels on me. And Matt was saying, you know, I'm really into this color combo. I really don't know what I can explain.
Wait,
this
say
color.
that phrase that you said again.
Oh, it's not regular. The olive yellow to me is something that's magic.
Yeah.
It is. It's like magic. For some reason, you're like, would you ever imagine these two colors together? Not really. But for some reason, I'm like, this takes like the regularness out of it. But then what's the best part is you can get this combo. And then if you're just like, oh, I don't know, maybe one day I want to be a little bit more regular. Because this is magic, Matt. So it's like for those regular days, you can just change it up. So change it to, and I also added this guy to it because I thought it was really fun. I wanted to make it super magical.
That was an unexpected combo, but it looks good.
Right? With the Geo. So then if you're just like, so this is the brilliance behind this. So if you're like, I don't know, I don't feel like being so magical today, then go regular.
Dial down the magic.
Yeah, so you can dial down the magic, and then look how much this is. It's so nice and rich, right? Look at that, Matt.
Yeah.
So then does it feel different?
Of course.
Right? It
Yeah.
feels a little different,
Yeah.
but it's the same bag. So that's what I
dial
suggest.
down a little bit.
Yeah, I went from magic to a little regular,
Sometimes
right?
you gotta
But
dial down.
sometimes you gotta go regular. So, but I really would love it if someone would just try magical because it's really fun. And what's fun is like, I don't know, I think what it is when you try magic, it's like the silver sling too, that's kind of magic. It just kind of makes your day really great. Like, you're like, okay, I'm just having a normal day, but then, I got this going on. And then you're like, cool. Like somehow you see, like I look at this next to me in the car and I'm just kind of like, cool. Mariam from Oregon got the Parker bag over there in olive and yellow. And she's like, okay, I got the Parker bag and she's like, I really like have so many big bags. I didn't buy the olive and yellow slouch, but then she's like, I had to, because she also got the magic. Because she's like, can I just lie on this like a pillow? Stuff it and lie on it like a pillow. It's so
you could,
soft.
actually.
Look at how soft this is.
Yeah.
And
This
it's
leather
great.
is really.
So great. You could put your computer. It's like, let's just dump everything in here and then take it and you look so cool, right?
Yeah.
Or you could have nothing in there. Like the other day I only had my phone and my sling bag. That's good enough. So anyways, or you could take this guy and put it in there. Like these guys can have babies.
This one's
in there.
perfect for bag and bag action.
Yeah, and this one is so cute. This is the other, so I brought this out because this is the other guy I've been using. I use this all throughout New York, and I find it so perfect for New York days, or those days when you just want to have your daily essentials in here. So I had 2 pairs of glasses in here, my phone, my extra phone charger, some little tiny makeup things like a lipstick and a compact, and believe it or not, I even rolled up a little scarf and put it in here for when it got a little chilly. Yeah,
Wow.
and it's so cute. I love him. So anyways.
Because it's got the wide gusset.
Yes, it's got the wide gusset, so when you get it, you're like, oh, it's kind of small, but it's actually really big. And it is also great for daytime and also nighttime. You could use it as a little nighttime bag. So I just love this combo, and I think it could really take regular, like look at my outfit's pretty regular today, would you not say? I like the regular versus magic. And then you just put this on, and then it's, voila! Magic!
Not that regular isn't bad, it's just
No.
a contrast.
You just want a little, but it's not bad. There's many days when I'm like, I need to be a little regular, so I'm
Yeah.
just put this down, right?
Nothing negative about
But
it.
you know what? I kind of do like a little magic. I always like a little magic because I like how weird things are. Oh, and then let's just preview a little bit some of the new sling bags that just dropped.
Should we do
We
close
will be
up?
adding these to our website, so you already have the gunmetal. Oh, and then people did ask me, can you show the difference between the gunmetal and the distressed silver? So the distressed silver is a little bit darker, and it's got a little bit of a grayish hue to it. The gunmetal is kind of a all over metallic. So that's the big difference, and I just love it. I think
It
both of
also
them.
has the matte areas.
Yes, because it's distressed.
Yeah.
So I love it. And then we have the other 2 that are going to be, 3 that are going to be added that are insanely beautiful. This one is insane. Luggage with the camo.
Winter camo.
This is just a little preview. Navy with the azure blue. So if you missed out on the azure blue, I feel like this is the best combo because you get a little bit of that and a little bit of that. And then this is just stunning. Does this not feel like a Land Rover?
Look at that.
I feel like this is like a Land Rover. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like navy,
Those vintage
forest
ones.
green.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And I think when you have like for winter, if you have khaki on, and then it's going to be still so, all these are still great in the summertime, I feel like, because you could just wear, I could see it with a white shirt and great pair of jeans. And I think it's just great. This combo's insane. So anyhow, this is what's going on today. Okay, so let's talk about this weekend. Matt, let's talk about that little dog that we found.
Oh, Chevy.
Chevy. So on Sunday, I think it was, or Saturday.
I think, yeah.
Okay, so it's Saturday morning, and I'm like, oh, good. You know, I have some time. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do my run. And then I take Bear out to go to the bathroom, and this lady is literally
You're
carrying.
just on our yard? In our yard?
Yes.
Okay.
This lady is carrying this giant 30-pound pug. So she's like,
30 pounds?
Yes.
Really?
It was so big, like I couldn't pick it up.
Oh.
So she's carrying it, right? And she's like, is this your dog? Like she's asking everyone, and everyone's like, no, that's not my dog. And then I'm like, and then she's like, I'm so sorry, but I'm just driving through this area. She doesn't even live in our neighborhood, Merch. And she's like, I got to go to
That's a nice
Carmel.
dog.
I know, but I found this dog on the street roaming around with without a collar on.
He's
and I'm
senior.
like, yes. And then she's like, I don't know what to do. And then what am I gonna say? Like, leave him on the street? No, he's so cute. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll take him in, and then I'll put him on next door, and I'm sure someone he's somewhere, right? He looked like
Couldn't have come from far.
no,
Because he was deaf,
elderly.
blind, and elderly.
Right.
Yeah.
So and he's 30 pounds, so he couldn't have
He's not a
walked
quick
it.
mover.
No. So I'm like, oh great. And then so I bring
No
him in,
collar.
no collar, and so I'm like, Parker helped me, and then we gave him water and all that jazz, and then we took a picture of him and put him up on Nextdoor. Okay, an hour goes by, and I'm like, oh no, no one's even replying, like not even a comment. I was like, it's a lost pug. So then I'm like, I have to go pick up Thatcher, but then I can't leave him in the house with Bear because Bear is like not having it with him in the house. So I'm like, oh no, this guy's blind, he's deaf, and he's a little bit scared because he doesn't know where he is.
Of course.
So I'm like, okay, Parker, can you just hang out with him outside until I go pick up Thatcher and bring him back? So another like 45 minutes is like coming around. And then so Thatcher, so I was like, thank you, Parker. So she's relieved of this dog job. And then I'm like, oh great, now what do we do? So then we're like, okay, I'm
You
gonna.
were getting comments by that point. People are like giving you, likes, and,
Sorry.
and they were giving suggestions of where to
Right.
list it
It's-
and go get the see if
Chip.
it's chipped. Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, okay, fine,
But no
I'll do that
takers,
as
no
the
takers.
no takers. So I was like, shoot, where's the owner? And then I'm like, okay, this is my first. I'm gonna try it. So we're like, how do we get this guy to roam around the neighborhood because he can't really walk? So I'm like, all right, let's put him in a wagon,
But
right?
also, you got to explain, he was out without a collar, without a leash, in the
Yeah.
middle of a busy road.
Very busy road.
Yeah.
He could have been smushed. So I'm like, all right,
Lucky.
let's put him in the wagon. So then we start wagoning, rolling him around the neighborhood. And we're like,
Like
knock,
a
knock.
radio flyer type situation.
Yes, and I'm like knocking on the door. No one's, and also, mind you, no one opens their doors these days, right?
No.
Or there's a bunch of gates. So we're like, bing bong, through a gate. Like, no one's letting you in. So I'm like, oh, and they're like, who are these two weirdos with a dog in a wagon? So then, luckily, the owners were outside and they were new neighbors. So no
How
wonder.
many houses had you checked at that point?
Like 3.
2 or 3.
Like not that
Okay.
many. And then also like we asked, people walking their dogs. No one knew this dog. Because this was a new dog that just moved in a day ago. And then there weren't even on Nextdoor. So
Meanwhile,
how would
I'm
we have found him?
halfway across the city at the farmer's market, and you're phoning me, going, "Oh, this is."
I'm like, what do I do? So thank God they were outside, and then they got reunited. And then I told them, please put a collar on this guy. And it's super busy on the street, so don't let him out.
Yeah.
Especially if he's blind and deaf. No bueno.
So it was good reunited.
Yes, thank God, because I was so worried. And then my parents were like, did you guys get another dog? I was like, no! Anyway, so it was really funny. So that was our dog story of the weekend. And then what else? Okay, so Matt and I are going to figure out, I've had so many questions, and thank you very much, about my arms. We're going to address it. Because I think we're trying to figure out how to, I do have a workout routine, but it's pretty insane. So I don't know, but and there's no like real answer to how do you get your arms like that, because it took a very long time, would you not say? I'm gonna tell you, I was out of shape. Like, I used to be pretty good shape when I was in my 20s living in New York. I was pretty good. I ran a lot. I've always run a lot, and I've played tennis, but not like an athlete at all. Like, Matt was more of the athlete. Like, you rode in college, so I was not doing any of that. So I'm not really an athlete.
Yeah, we both, for our 30s, since we're so focused on business and family,
and we had a kid.
We're not doing great
right,
with our workouts. Right.
So in our 20s, I would have to say I was pretty good about going to the gym every day, doing my gym thing, but not like an athlete. It was like, okay, fine, workout, right? And then in our 30s and 40s, I honestly was pretty out of shape. Like, we really kind of didn't do any exercise, would you not say? Like, we tried, but like, I'm going to tell you, the most exercise we ever did was a 7-minute workout. Do you remember that thing? Yeah. And that was exhausting.
We were just trying to do anything.
Right. It was exhausting.
We were like off in the woods.
Correct. And then I would have to say maybe 5 years ago, I decided that...
so pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, we got a Peloton, but no one used it for 2 years, I would say.
It was a closed thing.
It was almost like we're going to sell this thing and we're wasting our money because now we paid this thing off and no one's using it. It was a coat hanger. And then, so I was like, all right, 2000 and what?
18, 19, something like that.
Yeah, 18, I think, right? I decided I was going to ride the bike for 15 minutes a day. And so that's how it started. Very small things. And then after that, I decided that I was going to try to do it every day. And I think the key is any exercise you take on, I honestly have to say it's the consistency. Consistency and the endurance and the mindset that you have to set. And what was really surprising to me was this exercise endeavor turned out to be really great in so many ways. And I think that's what I want to share. It's, of course, you get the benefits of getting into shape and feeling great about yourself and being in better shape than you were probably when you were in your 20s. That was awesome. But I also found that in this time, because we're so lucky with podcasts and all this other stuff, I changed other things in my life in terms of your mindset, setting goals, knowing that you could do something every day consistently and setting a new habit is really important. Diet changed. So when you ask like, hey, how do I get my arms like that? It's not just the working out. It's a lot of the other things. It's the diet change. It's the consistency. It's the concept of training in zones, which
this
I never.
This all sounds like hard and overwhelming, though.
It is.
Yeah, but it wasn't because you built your way up to it.
Right, and
so
it wasn't because I
simple.
decided I was going to do a 15-minute workout on my bike.
Right.
And I think what it is, honestly, is in order for this consistency to happen, I was thinking about this, is you have to decrease the friction of doing this. So what does that mean, decreasing your friction? It means that you have to be able to just put your shoes on and go out the door and do your workout. So it's this idea of like, if you have to go to the gym, you have to drive to the gym, you have to do all this stuff. For a busy person, you're probably not going to do it. That's a big friction. So if it's something that you could just say, hey, I'm going to go and do a walk for 15 minutes, or I have a bike at home and I'm going to bike for 15 minutes, or you know what, now I want to do some core and some arms, which I could share what I do. I do core one day, arms the other day, and it's very consistent. That doesn't take much. You might just need a couple of weights to have around, and there's so many exercises you could find on YouTube. If you find some, like I like having a person telling me what to do because I can't set that. So I do have exercises that I follow. We do have a tempo that I follow, like a tempo machine. I really like this one lady on there, so I could share that. But I think as you decrease that friction,
maybe a way for us to share with everyone this is just
we'll film it in
share
our garage.
one thing at a time.
Yes.
Because you've got, at this point, 5 years into it, you've got all these things,
right.
And just to list all that out or show that in one video, that's too much. No one's like, that's too much.
Correct.
But to show each of the separate menu items,
right.
And then people can maybe start crafting their own order, just like you did.
Yeah, and I also find that if you do it consistently, you will see that you could go from a non-athlete like me to someone who feels really strong, and I think you have to also have this idea of like, why you're doing this. Why are you doing this? Of course you want to feel good about yourself, but for me, I was telling Matt, like, why are we doing what we're doing right now? It's so when I get older, I can try to get up and I don't have to feel like I have to like it's hard for me to get up. We want to play with grandchildren. We're going to do all these things, but we want to stay nimble and strong. And I also find that as you start working out and start doing this and you're doing it consistently, you're going to find that you get stronger in your mind, you get stronger in terms of like what you eat and what your diet is, and then you start exploring all these other things which you could really change your life. And it sounds crazy, but it's true, right, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, it really snowballs. I'm just so.
But you have to be curious.
I'm just so worried to show everybody the full thing now because it will seem overwhelming. But that's what I'm trying to emphasize, that like you just layered on small layer at a time.
Yes.
And you started a long time ago, and you started, like you said, by reducing the friction and just doing a very manageable thing.
Yes.
And then after, what was key though is that you were consistent in that small thing.
Every day.
And then eventually, obviously, if you keep doing it, then that small thing, you're like, oh, I gotta do something more.
And then you start tweaking it, and then you start learning, like, okay, no, it's not going all out running every day. It means you have to, there's different training methodologies if you want to increase your running speed.
So the good news is it can start very, very humbly and very simply.
15 minutes a day.
And never lose sight of that.
Exactly.
And you may be at that simple stage for some time.
A year.
That's fine too.
Fine.
So
or 2 years. But it's the consistency of it. And I think that's the key. Like,
that's
when we
probably
go on
your
vacation,
superpower through all this. You've been very, very consistent.
And I think for me, it's like, that's what I said, this is what I'm going to do. And so when I say I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it. And I think the thing is, like, when we go on vacation.
I also think that's your personality too. I think that it's very important for you not to break that streak.
Right.
Like that would be, if you missed a day at this point, it would really bum you out.
Yes, and so if I miss a day, or I'm going to miss a day, you even squeeze in 10 minutes. So I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to get on my Peloton app if I'm traveling, and I'm going to do 10 minutes of something. So that means I stayed true to what I was doing, which means that I want to exercise every day.
That was a big learning along the way, where we're like, it's okay sometimes. Obviously, you want to do it the right way, but it's more than okay sometimes. You just got to check that box.
Right.
Like there's times when we've been traveling, you had to get up at like 4 a.m. to like do your thing.
For half an hour, maybe.
Right.
Or even a 15-minute ride. But I did it before it's always, and then you shouldn't have to make it a burden on your day. So that means, you know what? Does that mean when we go on vacation, I know everyone's gonna be up at 9 and we all want to start going to the beach and doing all that jazz? That means I have to get up an hour before everybody else and go down to the gym.
But again, emphasize, like, that's not how it started.
No.
It's like, I don't want to scare anybody off because it's very doable, but it's just something that it's the tortoise. Like, it builds up over a long period of time.
Yes.
And be nice to yourself along the way. Like, don't be so hard on yourself.
That's good advice.
To be resilient.
So maybe what we do is we could just show the easy start. What do you think?
I think we gotta, because right now, I mean, there was a time a couple years back when we were like, all right, here's your routine, and it was fine. But like now you've got like 40 components to your
day.
Thing. Yeah.
I know, but let's do the easy one.
So we just need to show one small piece.
Yes.
Just like you started training.
Yes.
Show one small piece.
But that's also my personality, because once I start something, I get really curious about it. And then I want to keep tweaking it. It's like a machine.
What we call it is the improving.
Yeah.
Right?
Like some people are happy where it's like, okay, cool, I'll just do that for 15 minutes a day and I'm good with it. But it's like for me, once I start something, I'm like, ooh, what else can I do? Or ooh, like, okay, now that I can do it in 10 minutes, how could I get it down to 9? What do you need to do? So that's my personality, and I start tweaking, I start adding, and I start changing things. So, but that's just me, and it's pretty insane. But I think, like Matt said, we could just go like, hey, as long as you're consistent, that's the key.
Yeah, so maybe our goal is to create a YouTube playlist of all the different components of your routine.
Yeah, and then we'll do maybe let's start with the easier one, which is just 15 minutes a day. And adding the 15 minutes of movement to your day is just gonna change your life, honestly. I'm not just saying that, it really changes your attitude in so many ways, but you have to hold strong to the 15 minutes a day. That's the key. Okay, so we'll have a little think about how we're gonna do this, and then maybe it's a YouTube, like little tiny segments.
Yeah, just like we did for the Japan trip, where it's like 60 different segments, but it's one list.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so thank you for asking, because just like so cool. Thank you, and I can't wait to share it because I feel like it will really hopefully change your life and make you feel stronger. So we'll chat tomorrow. And
I'm just running through all the elements in my head now, and there's like It's like a phone book of elements.
It's a diary of a bad
From the
man.
meditation,
Okay,
to
stop.
the leg stretch, to the
Drinking the water.
what's this one? The lymph training, to the drinking the water, to the but whatever.
To the dry brushing,
it's your journey, right?
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yes.
It's fun, right?
Yes.
It's just cumbersome. That's all, and it takes commitment. But you don't need to do all
Are you
that.
still going outside every morning?
I peek my head out. It's a little bit too hard. I cut some things out. It's fine. All right. Bye, guys.